Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Darby. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Mark Watson and Russell Howard, Patrick Kilty, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Leader of the Opposition, David Cameron. But what does TLEC stand for?
Is it Tories launch exfoliating cream?
Or is it the Top Man launch Eton collection?
Or is it just simply Tosser leading everyone to catastrophe?
Are you not a natural Tory? Or is it Tory launch extremely Caucasian?
I think I'm the people he's shaking hands with are that actual size, and it's tiny little elf convention.
The elf vote is just screaming to me.
It's enormous.
Ironically, it's an enormous vote.
Is it tits, lips, eyes and chin? Everything he's got done in the poster.
Is it his full name? Tarquin Linus Edwin Cameron.
What's weird about it is, and this isn't nothing to do with the initial, he appears to be in black and white at the front of the photo and in colour at the back.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. He's like in black and white until the election, whereupon, the King of Munchkinland.
I know the answer. It's Tory leader effortlessly camp.
Do they have anyone give it something approaching the correct answer?
I think
You're the
it
sensible one.
is Tories launch election campaign.
That's close enough.
Genius.
That's Yes, the answer I was looking for was Tories launch election campaign. It's election time again, with David Cameron saying this year's vote could not come soon enough. Although the date is as yet to be confirmed by the Prime Minister, the Conservatives have begun announcing their policies in a bid to woo voters and regain power. So how do they launch the campaign?
Well, mainly by putting up a big poster of his face.
Yes.
Where he's wearing so much makeup, he may as well just say, Tory, because you're worth it.
It is astonishing. It is. I just think they should have run. It's like on 760 poster sites. They should have just run this poster instead. Look at my big shiny face. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the way my forehead glow follows you around the room.
He looks like a cross between David Dickinson and Pingu.
A cross that we've all been waiting a long time to see.
That penguin vote. No one's gone after that before. If you did all of his things by waddling around.
If they ever did that, they would close down CBeebies, wouldn't they? What are you doing, Dickinson? Leave him alone.
Take it, you little bastard. Take it.
I can't waddle away quick enough.
How much do you have to love yourself, you know, to launch your campaign with no policies and just a big picture of your own face? You know, we kind of now know what both leaders are going to say to us. Gordon Brown's going to say, don't trust the Tories, they'll put up taxes. And basically David Cameron saying, don't you wish your girlfriend was us? What you have to remember is that Cameron was in PR. I mean, I was 12 years old and I had a paper round.
I'm very... It's a poster. He's trying to sell it on the NHS, isn't he? That's the image he's got. It's all about the NHS. And now I'm slightly worried that Gordon Brown is going to have a poster about health as well, with a big picture of Gordon Brown, and then next to it, catch it, kill it, bin it.
I not only have issues with the big shiny face, I also have problems with the slogan.
Yeah.
You know, because every time I see that, we can't go on like this, in my brain the baby goes, with suspicious mind.
It's also, you just get the impression that he's very nicely, hey, I'm Dave, come on, yeah, whatever. And then as soon as he wins, Thatcher's just going to regenerate.
So send me to Wales! I'm going to finish what I started.
Does he not look a bit like a hypnotist to you?
The more we have this picture up, the more I'm becoming convinced we can't go on like this. Somebody must cut the deficit, not the NHS. Who can do such a thing?
Do you think, though, that it should actually say, I can make you thin?
His eyes are shinier and his hair's sleeker, but it's not necessarily an airbrush. It could be he's eating pedigree chum.
His coat is more glossy. Essential minerals are good. So you should see him running through a field and over a wall. It's incredible. He's youthful and dynamic.
Although sometimes he just rubs himself on the carpet in the House of Commons.
That would be very funny if there was like, you know, and we're cutting to the Prime Minister's question time and he's just dragging himself. Sorry about this. I really have to get to a vet at some stage.
I wonder, you know, all this still trying to woo the middle classes. Are the middle classes that angry? I haven't seen the middle class demonstrations, you know. What do we want? A Volvo estate. When do we want it? After the holiday in Tuscany.
Sorry, thank you. A moth just died.
In the rafters.
So it's just one piece of confetti came down. A very, very cheap wedding is taking place.
It's a note from Frankie.
Hurry up.
Said, will somebody make a quip about Kerry Katona's vagina?
Those days are gone. Kerry Katona's going, oh, I finally felt I could watch it. In other news, what's going on here?
Oh, Frozen Britain.
That's Frozen Britain.
That's, I believe, is a very tall man has taken that with a camera. This is the enormous news story that because it's winter, it's a bit cold.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. For 2 weeks, all the news has been, tonight, still cold.
What I love about it, though...
Really? I didn't realise.
What's hilarious, but they insist on putting the weathermen in the snow. It's like, it's really cold, we can see that. It's really cold. But never when it's hot, they don't put Michael Fish in a mankini. It doesn't...
I always say that, don't they? It's difficult to tell whether it's going to fall as snow or rain.
Yeah.
And surely the clue is in the temperature.
Yeah.
If it's -1, you're thinking, well, go for snow. That'd be my guess.
Yeah. If it's white, it's snow, basically. Technically not true. I'm sorry, being the
There we
dullest
go.
man in the world.
I'm afraid I did a geography degree.
It has to be above freezing to snow.
Otherwise it falls asleep. Is it
Yeah, it doesn't, if it's below freezing, it won't be snow.
KFC were very helpful. In all the meals that they had, they put in a little sachet of salt. Shake on the ground.
The lack of salt was such a Daily Mail reader's wet dream, wasn't it? There's no salt! There's no salt! You know what? They spent it all like Muslims teaching them yoga.
And
I can't get up a drive, but Osama bin Laden could do the lotus.
It is sad. There is a kind of a, you know, the transient nature of life, though, about the snow, because it arrives and it's all stunning, gorgeous, and it makes a lovely crunchy noise, and it slowly recedes into horror, and it's just like a one-night stand that she never leaves.
Did you not feel, in the snow, did you not actually genuinely feel a little bit sorry for 4x4 drivers? In that, for the first time, they could justify using them on the school run, and then they closed the school.
I live in Chelsea, and a lot of it's not that good. Whenever I went to introduce myself to the neighbours, they thought I was giving them a quote for tarmac, and it's not that glamorous. And I said to them, you know, when they couldn't get their 4x4s, I was like, well, why don't you let your kids walk to school? And they said, well, it's pretty clear you don't have kids, because if you did, then you'd leave them to the school gate in order for them to be safe. I said, well, when I have kids, I'm going to send them to a Catholic school where they'll be in the care of Roman Catholic priests from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. They walk to school will be the safest part of their day.
What I loved about the snow as well is that for that week when it really tipped it down, the entire nation was like a carry-on film, wasn't it? I've had 8 inches in my driveway. My back passage is all wet. Even the Transport Secretary, his name's Lord Adonis. That's not a name. That's the make of a posh dildo.
The worst job I ever had was forensic pathologist for the United Nations. And I remember uncovering the mass grave of 1,000 snowmen. Fortunately, it turned out to be a field full of carrots.
What's great about it? But it's like Milton, every so often it's like this hilarious grandad that just wakes up.
I did notice when a lot of people start off driving without finally clearing all of their windscreens. And they try and find a little bit that they can actually have a look at. I saw one bloke driving on the motorway, right? He was craned like this, he had his window open, he was squirting de-icer on his windscreen at the same time, and on the back of his vehicle it said, "How am I driving?"
The end of that round, the points go to Russell, Mark and Andy. Now we play a round called Mock You, I Won't Do What You Tell Me. This game involves Milton, Mark, Patrick and Russell, so if you could make your way over to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward to talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. Okay, here we go. Our first topic, please. And it's travel. Who wants to come in that? Marcus.
I think the thing with travelling is it's often quite hard to make yourself understood. I was in South Africa recently, and the way they taught that, that's not even the joke yet. I literally went to South Africa. All their vowels sound the same. So a word like cigarettes, it sounds like secrets. I was there. This guy was going, "Give me one of your secrets. Can I have one of your secrets?" Like, well, I once masturbated in a library. But in a way,
I do at least prefer it when it's me travelling. I get very nervous when people I know and love are travelling, like my wife. My wife is always in planes and stuff. I get very nervous in case something happens to her. I've even resorted to checking, you can track the flight on the website. So the other week, my wife was flying, and I was on there following it on the website, and it says, in the air, I couldn't relax till it said, landed. Which I know, I'm not sure how reliable a guide it is, really. I can't imagine if there is a problem, they change it to crashed. Or turned into a fireball, frowny face.
Thank you very much, Mark. Well done. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is international relations. Pat.
The world is a very dangerous place, and I think in order to bring more peace and to prevent war, what we need to do is to cancel the United Nations and stand down all armies. What we should do is we should replace it. Every government should have to open a Facebook account. Because Barack Obama opened a Facebook account to run for president, and a year later, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. It would be great. If every government had a Facebook account, the world would be a much better place. America and North Korea are now friends. China likes this. Hezbollah has poked Israel. The people of Palestine have written on Israel's wall. Osama bin Laden has tagged you in an album. Jihad 2001. America and Pakistan have gone from in a relationship to it's complicated.
OK, that leaves us Milton and Russell. The next topic, please. And it's etiquette.
I'm quite a socially awkward bloke. My face fell off and it just that. I saw a girl on a train recently and she was eating a yoghurt, and for some reason my brain thought it would be a good idea to go, you know, that's very good for thrush. Like, she'd suddenly go, oh, sit down, stranger. I can't help it. I drift in. Like, I was at a museum the other day. Everyone said, don't take photos, and I was taking a photo. A 9-year-old girl arrives, goes, what are you doing? I'm taking a photo. She ran off. I'm off to tell the man. Now, the last thing you want to be doing is chasing a 9-year-old girl across a museum going, don't tell the man, don't tell the man. Added to the fact that when you catch her, you've got to go, I'll delete the photo. That doesn't look good.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, Milton, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is health.
My sister's got hay fever. Now she's got diabetes, so I tried to cheer her up, you know, flowers, chocolates. About a month before he died, my grandfather recovered his back with lard. After that, he went downhill very quickly. Recently had bird flu, but it's all relative, isn't it? You know, if I had rabies and you offered me bird flu, I'd bite your hand off. Last summer I set up a clinic for colonic irrigation, but the hosepipe ban hit us hard.
I think the points have to go to Milton and Patrick. Their round of applause. The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Patrick, which category would you like?
Transport.
OK, transport it is. The answer is 35 seconds. What is the question?
Is it how long regular viewers to this show will take to turn over when they realise that I'm sitting in Frankie Boyle's seat?
I know the answer. What is a bad sexual nickname?
Is it what is the age of consent for a mayfly?
Is it, if you try and Google Tiananmen Square in China, how soon before you get a knock at the door?
Is it how long it takes Paul McCartney when watching Dancing on Ice to shout, trip, you bitch?
I bought those shoes.
Shoe.
Shoe, yeah. Is it due to the BBC cutbacks? What is the new name for Just a Minute? Is this one for the Radio 4 fans?
Very nice.
Is it the length of time between Peter Mandelson's heartbeats?
Is it how long you can watch TV for before someone goes, go compare?
Is it how long does it take Jordan to get over a relationship?
The answer is this is going to be how long it will take for the new scanners to scan you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Well done. Thank you very much, Russell. Yes, the question I was looking for was, how long will it take passengers to be scanned through the new airport body scanners? This is the announcement of the controversial new security technology due to be introduced to airports around the UK. The process has already met with considerable opposition. Why are they controversial?
Because they'll see me naked, Dara.
That's because we're going to see people's willies.
Yeah, that is essentially...
What, do you want to be blown up, or do you... Look, the people... Look, it's hilarious. People go, oh, my God, it'll attract perverts. Not unless you're into ghost porn.
Is that a man or a woman?
That's Casper.
That's...
Not only, though, are you naked, but you've got to do the Macarena at the same time.
But the public outrage about it is extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's as though that, you know, the people seem to think that this machine has been programmed, so every time a woman goes through it, it goes, whoa. It doesn't go beep, it just goes ding dong.
I mean, because you can see that. You can see where he's got a wallet, a belt, some change, a pen, and a weird thing across his chest, which I get that checked out, to be honest. A surgeon has lost something inside that man.
He also appears to have only 2 bones.
Yeah. He's also weirdly taller from the back, which is... That's hard, isn't it?
You don't really want people looking at your wobbly bits, do
No,
you?
no.
There they are going, oh, this bloke's looking nervous as he comes through. Is it that he's carrying a bomb? No, it's a cold day, and he's a bit worried about the size of his knob.
They may open a region just before the thing, kind of fluffy zone, where you can take a few moments and stave off the cold. Just prepare yourself.
Just like
How long will it take before stag parties just start taking Viagra before they get to the airport? Just for the crack.
It's a serious point that that you've got to look at the ongoing war on terrorism and say, if we now have to show our genitals to a man in a box before we go on our holidays, I think they've won. Well, you see, probably the bit of them.
You know, the thing is that human rights activists hate these new scanners, but, you know, on the flip side, women's magazines will love it. It'll be, get the airport body scanner body you deserve. And, you know, people are going to be so self-conscious, you're going to have to get Gok Wan out to Heathrow, giving people rounds of applause to get them through. It's like, come on, sister, you can do it.
I did get patted down the one time I went through Heathrow, and you know, you ding ding ding, and they're straight to the Diana Ross, they're straight to the on your arms, and it's quite robust actually. It's quite the frisk now. Well, I would, geez, that's a bit, you know, it's a bit hefty as a challenge. There, you know, you're really making contact there. I said, and your man goes, it's for your own good. And I had a long discussion with him, going, no. Generally, all of the security is for my own good. But actually patting me down individually isn't for my... I know I'm not a terrorist. It's not like you're going to pat me down and go, you've got a bomb strapped, and you go, I was wondering what that was. Because it was chasing me in the taxi, and I didn't feel like opening my shirt to find out.
The way to get them is just to play them at their own game. So when they pat you down, just act like you're really enjoying it. That really freaks them out, because normally people are nervous. Just sit there going, oh, God. Honestly, do it as loud as you can, and they stop patting you down pretty quickly.
The reason why all of this has been brought in is because the guy who tried to blow himself up on Christmas Day.
Yes.
And I went home to Ireland for Christmas, and it was worth it just to be there on Boxing Day for my mother to say, with no irony whatsoever, she said, just after the Christmas pudding, she said, I don't know, those Muslim terrorists, you'd think that at least take Christmas off.
That was what was funny though. Nobody cared. That was the beauty, because it happened at Christmas. It was like, oh yeah, and the plane nearly got... Did it? Really? Brilliant. Oh, well. Oh, Uncle Buck's on. Now he's going to wake up.
They said that it was going to put people off flying. It didn't put me off flying as much as the story that happened in America just before that, which was the story of the 2 pilots who'd fallen asleep and missed the airport by an hour. And you're thinking, how can 2 pilots fall asleep? Who looked, you know, one pilot maybe, but who looks at their co-pilot, sees them falling asleep, and thinks, yes, that's a good idea.
They have to do something, because there are more and more suicide bombers. Well, more and more and less and less.
The thing about, I think his name was Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalab. He was not only on a list, he was not only identified as a possible terror subject, his father had alerted the authorities to the danger that his son had been converted to jihadism. And the only reason apparently they did is because his father is a former director of the First National Bank of Nigeria. And presumably when they got the email that said, I am a director of the First National Bank of Nigeria, I have some information which may be valuable to you there. They just deleted it.
Have you seen the latest thing that they're using in this country? Body language. We're having body language to check whether they're a terrorist, as if anyone's going to be walking along with a moustache going, ooh, ha, 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 ha. But apparently, this is it, man, right? If you do this, is that a meerkat terrorist?
Yeah,
that's great.
And then he pats him off and goes, simple.
Well, see this, right? Apparently, this means you're lying, this means you're nervous, and if you go like this, it means you've got a bomb up your arse.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way to the performance area, please. I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. Right, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on Crime Watch.
But before we see tonight's crime, let's meet the judges.
Police say they are looking for a black man in his 20s, and that they always will be.
Do you recognise this man? Thought not. It's Nick Clegg.
They say criminals always return to the scene of a crime, which is why we've probably got so many Australians over here.
Coming up next week, we'll be trying to solve the murders of the people who phoned up giving information on criminals this week.
Today, we're looking at identity theft.
All the victims are deaf, dumb or blind. These are senseless killings.
Baffled police are appealing for help. Do you know where Wally is?
So, if you're being interrogated by the police and they're recording the interview, just make sure that every so often you go, ow.
Tonight, the great train robbery. London to Glasgow, £235 return.
Tonight, we're looking for the man who keeps on burgling my home every time I present this programme.
I don't work with a Crime Watch. I'm your host, Ray Winston. Leave it, you slag!
Don't go camping in the countryside. Have you noticed that whenever the police find a body, it's always in a tent?
Hello, I'm Nick Ross, and tonight I'm asking, who stole my fucking job?
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to hear in a TV election debate.
The truth.
Labour, ready! Tories, ready! Bring on the wall!
I think of this studio as a second home, which is why I'm claiming expenses for it.
And the lines have closed. Gordon, it could be you. David, it could be you. Nick, it's not going to be you.
We in the Tory party are going to give the north of England a huge boost, and then all the people can come out and lick the chocolate off it.
If you're elected, you'll raise taxes. If your mum's elected, she will. It's me who got you into this mess, and it's him that will get you out of it.
And at the end of that round, Gordon, you've scored no points.
I'm really very, very proud of my working-class roots. When I was growing up, we only had an outside toilet. Eventually, we got enough money to buy a house.
Cheryl, tonight you're going to be mentoring the Lib Dems.
Let me know, Pick. What's your real name?
How will we shorten waiting lists? Simple. By letting the weak die.
Hello! I am the Messiah! And the Queen is a biscuit!
I am almost certain that was a floating voter.
Very good. Get it around. Points go to Patrick. You and Milton. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Patrick Kitty, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. Commiserations to Russell Howard, Mark Watson and Andy Parsons. I'm Darby. Thank you for watching. Good night.
More comedy to come on BBC Two. Ramsey Nesbitt's a happy man. He's back on the box after 10 years. Then we get to meet Bella Meets People in the brand new series Act 10, A Taster, coming up.